Definitions Overview. Before we begin, let's review the key concepts used throughout this video. We start with religious non-discrimination, which means treating employees fairly regardless of their beliefs or lack of belief. A sincerely held belief is any belief personally meaningful to an employee, whether part of an organized religion or not. A religious accommodation is a workplace adjustment that helps an employee practice their beliefs. An accommodation request is when an employee verbally or in writing asks for a workplace change related to religion. The interactive process is a collaborative conversation between the employee, the manager, and HR to understand the need and explore possible solutions. Undue hardship refers to a significant difficulty, cost, safety concern, or major operational disruption. A written decision documents the employer's response, and follow-up ensures the accommodation is effective and confirms no retaliation occurs. Under Title VII, employers must prevent religious discrimination and provide reasonable accommodations. Managers support this by recognizing sincerely held beliefs, brainstorming accommodations, avoiding religious endorsement, and documenting decisions. Training includes two activities: a sincerity recognition activity and an accommodation brainstorming activity. Policy Clause. Under Title VII of the Civil Rights Act, the company prohibits discrimination or unequal treatment based on an employee's religious beliefs, practices, or lack of belief. The company will provide reasonable accommodations unless doing so creates an undue hardship involving safety, legal conflicts, or significant disruption. Employees may make requests verbally or in writing to start the process. Constitutional versus workplace protections. The First Amendment protects individuals from government interference with religion. Title VII applies specifically to the workplace and requires employers to prevent religious discrimination and provide reasonable accommodations. Religious non-discrimination. Title VII requires employers to treat employees equitably, regardless of their religious beliefs, practices, or lack of belief. Common examples of religious discrimination. Religious discrimination can include denying a schedule change for a holy day, restricting religious dress or grooming, blocking prayer breaks, mocking beliefs, or requiring participation in employer-led prayer. Sincerely held beliefs. A sincerely held belief does not have to be part of an organized religion. Under Title VII, sincerity is based on the employee's explanation and personal commitment. Religious accommodation. A religious accommodation is a workplace adjustment that helps an employee practice their beliefs. This may include schedule changes, duty adjustments, prayer breaks, or dress and grooming flexibility. How to request an accommodation. An employee may request an accommodation verbally or in writing. No special form or phrasing is required under Title VII. Step 1. Request. The accommodation process begins when the employee communicates their need for an adjustment. Step 2. Acknowledgement. The employer promptly acknowledges the request and provides information about the next steps. Step 3. Interactive process. This is a collaborative, good faith conversation to understand the employee's belief, workplace conflict, and potential solutions. Step 4. Exploring options. Employer and employee explore reasonable accommodations such as shift changes, duty modifications, adjusted break times, or dress exemptions. Step 5. Undue hardship. The employer evaluates whether any proposed accommodation would create significant difficulty, cost, safety concerns, or major operational disruption. Step 6. Written decision. The employer prepares a written explanation outlining what is approved, modified, or denied. Step 7. Follow-up. Follow-up ensures the accommodation is working properly and confirms the employee is not experiencing retaliation. Manager responsibilities. Managers support Title VII compliance by recognizing sincere beliefs, working with HR to explore accommodations, maintaining neutrality, and documenting every step of the process. Example of a holy day request.
Hi, thank you for meeting with me. I typically work Fridays, but next Friday is a major religious holy day for me. This holiday only happens once a year, and my faith requires me to attend services and spend the entire day in observance. I'm giving as much notice as I can so we can plan ahead, and I would like to request a full day off.
Thank you for telling me. I appreciate you giving advance notice. We absolutely want to respect your religious observance. Let's start the accommodation process so we can explore all possible options. I'll involve HR, and we'll talk through coverage and scheduling to see what works.
A shift swap will work without creating hardship. Approved.
Religious dress or grooming.
Hi, thanks for meeting with me. I wanted to let you know that my faith now requires me to wear a head covering every day while I'm at work. It's an important expression of my religious practice, and I'm expected to keep it on at all times. The covering fits closely and doesn't interfere with my ability to do my job, but I wanted to make sure we talk through anything I need to be aware of. I want to respect both my religious requirements and our workplace policies, so I'd like to request an accommodation to wear it during my shift.
Thank you for coming to me and explaining this. I appreciate you sharing why the head covering is important to your faith. Based on what you've described, it sounds like something we should be able to support, but I want to make sure we do this correctly. Some of your duties involve customer-facing tasks and occasionally moving through areas where we have safety guidelines, so I'd like to bring HR into the conversation. They can help us confirm what's required so we can accommodate your religious need while still following our policies. Let's talk with them so we can find the best solution.
Thank you both for bringing this forward. I appreciate you, and I want you to know that we absolutely want to respect your religious practice. From what you've described, your head covering is fitted, secure, and doesn't create any safety hazards. You are welcome to wear it in all customer-facing areas without any issue. For tasks where we have specific safety or hygiene guidelines, we can simply have you place a food-safe covering or protective cap over your head covering. That allows us to stay compliant with our safety policies, while still fully supporting your religious practice. With that in place, your accommodation is approved.
Prayer break.
Hi, thank you for meeting with me. I wanted to let you know that I have a religious practice that requires a short prayer in the afternoon. It only takes a few minutes, but it needs to happen at roughly the same time every day. I'm hoping I can step away briefly to complete the prayer and then return to my duties. I always want to be respectful of my work responsibilities, so I'd like to talk about how we can make this work smoothly.
Thank you for coming to talk with me about this. I appreciate that you explained what you need and that you're thinking ahead about how it fits with your responsibilities. A short break like this is usually something we can work around. I'll look at our afternoon coverage and talk with HR just to make sure the arrangement is consistent with our policies. It sounds very doable, so let's get HR's guidance and move forward.
Thank you both. This type of request is very common and typically easy to support. A short prayer break lasting a few minutes is considered a reasonable religious accommodation under Title VII. As long as coverage continues smoothly, and your manager has already confirmed that it can, this request is approved. We'll document the accommodation and make sure your break is scheduled in a consistent way that supports your religious practice and our operations.
Objection to job duty.
I appreciate you meeting with me. I wanted to let you know that there is an upcoming event I have been scheduled to attend, and I have a religious objection to participating in that particular activity. My belief prevents me from being involved in certain types of events, and this one falls into that category. I still want to do my job well and contribute to the team, but I need to request an alternative assignment for that event.
Thank you for explaining this and for being clear and respectful about your concern. I understand that your beliefs guide what you can participate in, and I want to make sure we handle this appropriately. We'll bring HR into the conversation so we can review the duties and see what other assignments might be available. You're an important part of the team, and I'm confident we can find a solution that respects your beliefs while still covering the event.
Thank you both. We reviewed the event and your role, and there is flexibility in how responsibilities can be assigned. Since participating in this specific activity conflicts with your sincerely held beliefs, we can reassign the event duties to another team member and give you an alternative task during that time. This adjustment does not create any operational difficulty or hardship for the organization, so your accommodation is approved. We will document this and ensure your future assignments avoid this particular conflict unless you notify us otherwise.
Weekly worship.
Thank you for meeting with me. I'd like to request a schedule adjustment. My faith requires me to attend weekly worship services on Sunday mornings, and the service time doesn't allow for me to work an early shift before attending. I want to continue fulfilling my responsibilities at work, so I'm hoping we can adjust my Sunday start time or schedule me for different shifts on that day.
Thank you for letting me know and for explaining the timing of your worship service. I appreciate that you're approaching this respectfully and giving us a clear picture of what you need. I'll review our scheduling patterns and connect with HR to make sure any changes we make are consistent and fair. At first glance, I believe we can adjust your Sunday shift so you can attend your service and still meet your work responsibilities.
We've reviewed the Sunday schedule, and shifting your start time or adjusting your weekly rotation is fully manageable. There is enough staffing on Sunday mornings to cover your absence, and this accommodation does not create hardship for the team or the organization. Your request is approved. We'll document the new Sunday schedule and ensure that your shift begins after your worship service, so you can meet both your religious obligations and your job requirements.
Manager training transition. Now let's look at the training managers receive to support religious accommodations. Recognizing sincere beliefs. Managers learn to listen respectfully, ask appropriate clarifying questions, and avoid making assumptions about belief systems. Brainstorming accommodations. Managers work with HR to identify reasonable solutions that balance employee needs with business requirements. Avoiding religious endorsement. Managers remain neutral in public-facing interactions and must avoid appearing to promote or discourage any religious views. Documenting decisions. Managers maintain accurate records of the request, discussions, options considered, hardship review, and final decision. Sincerity recognition activity. Managers review example scenarios to practice identifying sincerely held beliefs. Accommodation, brainstorming activity. Managers compare strong and weak responses to learn how to propose workable accommodations. Manager training wrap-up. This training ensures managers support employees respectfully, consistently, and in compliance with Title VII. Closing. Understanding religious discrimination and accommodation under Title VII helps create a respectful and inclusive workplace. Thank you for watching.